welcome to Travel Week. This week I'm going to use Lavender Farm Collection by Mintay Papers. It is gorgeous. The back side of the cover has this bonus sheet, so there's like 2 sets of those die cut sheets if you choose to, or detail cut sheets. These are the photos I'm going to be using. This is my oldest daughter, and we visited a lavender farm in northern Michigan up on the peninsula. It was super, super gorgeous. It had this giant barn that was full of drying lavender. So I cut out 1 full sheet on paper number 9 of all of these die cuts and illustrations. So I cut it out. Now the next thing I have to figure out is which one of these gorgeous papers I'm going to use for the background. And I think I'm gonna settle on this blonde wood grain because it's going to allow all of these great like purples and turquoise and all that kind of thing, the color to pop just so nicely. So I went ahead and detail cut out that top piece that you see there, and look at how pretty it looks against that blonde wood grain. And I think I'm gonna also go ahead and back this wood grain on a really gorgeous floral piece. Do you see how I'm auditioning a bunch of them? I'm like, do I want to use this one? Do I want to use that one? So I did matte it in both the turquoise tone as well as the floral. And then I decided I wanted to have a little bit of a shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges with a nice gray ink. But really, you do not need to do this. I just wanted a bit more differentiation. I just like that little bit of shadow you get from doing it. So I'm going to do it around all of these different layers and on a bunch of the embellishments. All right, so I have the base of the layout all fixed up. I'm loving the look, and now I want to start auditioning all of these bits and pieces that I detail cut out. And I have the 2 pictures of my daughter. I still have to figure out how I might want to matte those pictures as well. But this is totally the fun part, the decorating bits. And look at these little gates. I mean, they're so cute. They have these brick gates, and I find this other piece and I'm like, yes, those are the 2 pieces that get to go around my photo. And then I'm just gonna go from there. Now, spoiler alert, I have it like this, but when I go to stick everything down, I will end up changing it up a little bit. I'm going to end up putting a bunch of the florals beneath the photos. So at this point, I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what? I want to use some of my Kreativa paints. They're chalk paints and they come in the most gorgeous colors. So I'm going to use a bunch of colors. Well, not a bunch of colors. I am going to use white, lilac, and turquoise, and almost in a subtle dry brushing kind of thing. I'm not looking to coat the entire back of my photo cluster, just to get it kind of zhuzhed up a little bit, bringing in those colors, and you will totally see how well these colors match. I mean, they are stunning. So I've got a nice little coating of the lilac, and I'm going to once again do kind of that dry brushing technique a little bit at the time and build with the turquoise. Now these paints go on a lot darker and they dry lighter, and you get this lovely, gorgeous chalk finish. You can see right there where I'm painting the lilac, how it's darker and it softens right up, and it just is exquisite. And then finally, on top of that, I'm going to use just a little bit of white, which will brighten the whole thing up, and we will see it peeking from my photo clusters. I thought I'd show you really quickly how pretty that white looks when it's on top of those areas. Brings out some of the white that is in the detail cutout bits, in the flowers, and all of that kind of thing. So just a little bit of a brightening up. Now, I do want to show you this little 6x6 paper pad. I used a few of the different papers from it to go ahead and matte my photos. I love the mini paper pads. You get a bunch of the same prints, right? But you have like this smaller size on the print. So you're bringing the same patterns and the same vibes together, but you get yet more papers, which is great. And then that allows me to save my 12 by 12s for the big backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. So definitely a win. When you pick up these products, make sure you get the mini paper pads. So this is where I'm starting to play, and I told you that I would go ahead and put a bunch of those floral clusters beneath my photo clusters, and that's giving them a shelf, and it's so pretty. I mean, look at how cute my daughter is, where she's just showing off all the lavender behind her. I have so many pictures from this day, and I will keep playing with this collection and having myself a time with it. But I mean, look at that big giant bucket of the lavender on the left, and then it's repeated again on the right. At the top are those big swags of it. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to tuck this little heart piece underneath one of those top pieces. It just really lent itself to it. Oh, and that top piece, I don't know if I told you, it's popped up on some dimensional adhesive, and I did the same thing with that little heart piece. So yeah, this is my pieces on here. Now I'm going to come in here with just my little Wink of Stella pen to get a little bit of sparkly action here and there, and it gives it just that little extra punch. And I like it because it's easy to use, and and I don't know, who doesn't like a little bit of sparkle? It's awesome. So at this point, I want to add just a few finishing touches. I have some of these little adhesive pearls, and I'm going to pop them here, there, and everywhere around my layout, which zhuzhes up my layout just a little bit, but B, I get to use up some stash. So always a win in my book, and I'm just going to use all of them up that are left in the package in this pearly white kind of a color. So that's what I have for you guys today. I will have a link down below for Mintay Papers as well as a supply list. And I wanted to pop back on, I realized I had left off a couple of my cardboard stickers, so I want to just get a couple of those pieces on, and then this layout will be done. Thank you so much for watching, friends, and I'll be back ever so soon with another video.